Hey, it's Eric Robert Hunter with Current Commerce. Don't skip out on high margin opportunities. Affiliate marketing isn't just for influencers, it's a high margin powerhouse for businesses like yours. Don't miss out on this scalable revenue stream. In 2025, connecting with your audience means working with the creators they trust. Collaborate with influencers and watch your reach and sales skyrocket. If you're wondering how to do that, that's a solution that we offer. We manage the recruitment process, and we also manage your TikTok shop. We can assist with creating content for your socials. We are TikTok shop partners. Our expertise covers Amazon Marketplace optimization, TikTok shop management, branding, sales forecasting, scaling to Latin America, and so much more. We've got your back so you can focus on your business's growth. Visit currentcommerce.io to get started, and don't forget to follow us on all the social channels at currentcommerce.io. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right, welcome back, guys. Current Commerce.
Yo.
What's
up, boys?
that?
Oh, gosh.
Starting off,
It's too
coming
soon.
in hot.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop. Hammond's pretzels, baby. Get yourself some.
Is that a local San Diego?
No, this is straight out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The hardest, most tastiest pretzels you've ever had.
The hardest.
They are
Must
very
be-
hard. Very hard
Yeah.
pretzels.
Break a tooth? Hard or what?
Oh, yeah. You'll break a tooth, but they're so good. Unbelievable. It's just a small little factory in downtown Lancaster. They're delicious. And you can get them on Amazon, which is crazy. So,
Nice.
Radical.
but
I'm more
check
of
out
a
the back.
soft
Check out the
pretzel.
back of this hat. I got a pretzel on it. Isn't that cool?
I used to pick up shot glasses everywhere I went. Had like a little collection of shot glasses in my mom's kitchen.
Yeah.
Mexico.
I'm going with the hats these days.
Okay.
There's something to be said for a good hat. Can we get a Current Commerce hat burnt off here pretty soon?
I mean, call Touchstone.
Yeah. Your Ruka hat's good. I like that.
Thank you.
Ruka's the
This was a
bomb.
gift.
Nice.
And since I shaved my mini afro off, it can actually fit on my head. Because this is the only brand I've actually encountered a size on hats. Most
I
of
got
the
so
time
many
they're like
Ruka
one
hats.
size fits all.
It's crazy. So many Ruka hats. You know, though, what they need to do? They need to really not Ruka, but like the hat industry needs to step up how you take care of hats, how you clean them.
Yeah. 'Cause you live in a house with people that don't know. I will wash the hats I sweat in,
Oh,
and then people are waiting but you don't dry them because then they wrinkle. But people throw your clothes in the dryer, and now your whole hat collection is just tore up.
yeah,
You gotta get new hats.
it's there's no way to do it really. I mean, I won't throw them in the wash. They get ruined even in the wash sometimes. But yeah, I've got many retired Ruka hats, but they're still all hanging on like by hooks, but they have all the sweat stains and all disgusting and stuff like that.
Are they extra large to fit that huge e-commerce brain inside?
No, I'm kind of a small medium guy, but I am very particular in how a hat feels. Like this hat I love just because it says Hammond, but it does not feel very good.
Good.
I was thinking this could be a good bonding moment for me and my uncle. Like, because his hats are pristine. Like, he's got fitteds. And I'm like, how do you do that? And he'll send me a picture of his closet. He's got, he hangs them. But I'm like, how do you keep them up? So, I don't know. Some fraternal bonding opportunity here over fitted hats.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could bond over almost anything, Why not
That's
hats?
true. Fishing.
Anything. Fishing,
Fishing hat.
pickleball, Commanders in the playoffs, baby. Going to take down the Lions this weekend.
I'm staying quiet because I'm like thinking that maybe this topic will dissipate and we'll get into business. But
We're just warming up.
But I can keep going because I'm at this weird stage of life that I think it's like becoming an old man where like as a youngster, you just need to whatever, baseball hats, what you guys are wearing, right? That's all you need. But then older men start taking creative liberties on style. And as a young man, I'm like, why do that? But now I'm starting to get there and be like, could I start wearing, wide brimmed hat or like other weird styles of hat? Like, can I pull it off?
I can't pull those off. I have one of those, and I always feel kind of uncomfortable. I feel like I'm trying too hard. People
Trying
are
too
looking
hard,
at me
right?
like,
Exactly. But it's like I'm a bald guy, so I got to cover my dome, and there's a good fitting ball cap, and there's ones that just don't fit me. They're all top, like they're top tall. But I'm like, maybe I should start doing some of these, Brixton hats or something like that. I don't know, a little wide brimmed something. No, you
I
guys,
The
mean,
hat,
get
the
out there,
hat
man.
doesn't.
We'll
keep me in check. Don't let me go too far off the rails. Because as a young man, I look at the old men doing it. And I'm like, why, dude? Just stick with the classic baseball hat. You're fine. And now I'm considering it. I don't know.
Hat doesn't make the man. The man makes the hat.
but a hat
Well,
can
then I
make
guess
you
I
look
gotta wait till I have enough confidence and swag to go for it, not ask your guys' opinion.
Just can't think
I'm not
about
there
it.
yet.
well. Just as long as you don't wear a Buffalo Bills hat because they're going down this weekend, you'll
Let's
be fine.
go, Buffalo.
It's not happening.
Well, I asked ChatGPT for some predictions on football. It does not render good betting advice, which is good. But I asked it for something, and it gave me back this really crappy visual. And I told it, I was like, this is terrible. Like, clean this up. And it told me system error, trying to process what you put in. So AI is made to receive commands and positive feedback, but it doesn't want the negative stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need to use it more. I'm not really into it.
I use it
I
all
don't
the
know.
time, but I fried ChatGPT's brain back last fall, which was I was coaching little kid rec soccer, and in little kid rec soccer, it's important that players get kind of the same amount of playing time and that they get to try different positions. You're not just leaving the one girl back as a defender the whole time. She gets the chance to go score goals, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, you know what? ChatGPT can solve this algorithm for me. Here's my players. I want them to be in an offensive position and a defensive position. There's 2 halves. You can divide that up into 2 or 3 substitutions per half. And then it would keep recommending me, rosters by quarter. And it'd have the same player in 2 different positions at the same time. I'm like, ChatGPT, that player can't be at 2 places at once. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me fix that. And it knew. So I'm telling you, soccer substitutions is a complex thing.
That's the most ridiculous use of ChatGPT I've ever heard in my
Well,
entire
then you're
life.
gonna get mad. Then you're gonna get mad parents because their kid's not playing as much as the other kid.
Dude, just figure it out, man. Just move them around. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I was overthinking it.
Oh, it's like Susie, get in the back. Jenny, get up top. You know?
Then you forget about the kid that's right behind you on the bench.
I mean,
For
here's what
tomorrow.
they need to do. I need ChatGPT integrated with iMessenger so that I can have ChatGPT respond to my wife's messages. That would be amazing, right? And the prompt would just simply be, please respond to this right.
Make her happy.
Don't screw this up.
Well, have you all heard of these AI agents? I mean, everyone's talking about AI taking their jobs, but actual agents for maybe agencies or brands. I mean, what's your idea of this?
You know who needs to get that is the IRS. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Try to call them. But yeah, no, I mean, I think we're like, even this morning, I was talking to my wife about, she keeps getting these voicemails and phone calls from some firm that's saying she's going to get served today. It's a phishing scam, right? But like, oh, there's some lawsuit coming against you, blah, blah, blah. And I was just thinking through the process of how that happens. And, there's been legal things in the past, no big deal. They're public record though. So some crawler is crawling some California or New Hampshire site, grabbing all the information, dropping it into a AI voice generator that produces a script, and then into a robo dialer, leaving these voicemails trying to get you to call back and, well, what is it? What's the lawsuit? Oh, okay, help me. I mean, it's damn sophisticated, but at the same time, it's, probably easier for these scammers now using AI. So I think there's like a super negative side to it. If there is a positive side, I don't know.
Well,
Look at
I
how
was,
much
yeah.
look at how much time and like thought we put into building our business here at Current Commerce. And then just to think that there's people out there that are like huddling around, hey, let's build this scam business. How can we trick these old people out of their money? Like, hey, team, what new ideas we got to deploy this week?
Yeah.
It's unreal.
It's every
It's a
every
huge thing.
industry, every category.
I was considering it more along the lines of, let's say, Amazon seller, vendor status, as far as that onboarding process, someone like Amazon incorporating that, or an agency where you're onboarding one of their services rather than having an account manager. Since there's only so many scenarios supposedly that could happen, putting that at the front end of some type of retail or agency business. But would that lose the personal touch? Because it seems like there's always something new that AI isn't prepared for. And then I was watching videos and it's like, are the social sellers going to be replaced by AI sellers that just are these creative or created identities that people think are, this is the most pristine person that I want to buy from? So is there the threat of us being replaced by robots, or, they just simply won't ever be able to do what we do?
Well, two use cases there, and I think the answer to both of them is yes. Like Amazon needs to deploy ASAP because their case management is very, 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 very cumbersome and time consuming. And so for them, just internally, they should want to fix issues that sellers have or vendors have. There's one that came up yesterday for a client of ours. And really the only option we have is to stay on the phone until the issue is resolved with a live person, right? But if they had an appropriate AI engine to like take us through or take that client through the cause and effect and then a resolution, like they should do that because they are employing tens of thousands of case managers overseas to fix these issues that frankly are pretty basic stuff, like a listing's down or someone updated a listing the wrong way or whatever it may be, right? On the influencer side or the social commerce side, the answer from my perspective is yes. The key is, can you tell the difference? Because I don't really care, right? Like I don't think anyone should care. If you can't tell the difference and you're having a good experience and you're getting the information you need, let it be. But I think for just the sake of having low unemployment rates, like I hope that doesn't happen. The creators need to create. So as long as there's a creative person behind that AI robot, whatever you want to call it, I'm cool with that. But I think it's inevitable. Are you a bot? Are you guys real?
Not yet.
You don't look real. You're too
We
good
are
looking.
pretty
Too good
pristine.
looking and chiseled to be real.
Yeah.
I'm uploading my consciousness to the cloud so that when this meat sack expires, you all can utilize my supreme intelligence.
Yeah, I reserved a 10 gigabyte space in the cloud for mine. That's all I need. About 10 gigabytes.
Yeah.
So speaking of Amazon AI agents, Amazon does have an influencer program, and not everyone is aware of this, but I think we are more familiar with it than we let on, because when we go through products and we look at them and we're looking at the photos, there's often a video. And now there are these people that offer these reviews. And they're like, hey, this is how I used it. So that's actually UGC. That's user generated content. The thing with Amazon influencers is that they're not driving traffic to Amazon from outside sources like social media. And so the content creators are approved by Amazon to produce the content that helps shoppers become more confident in their decision making. And they're doing things like unboxing and demonstrating the product. So my thing is, why don't we know about this? And is this in competition? Like, is it direct competition to TikTok Shop? What's the deal?
I have some thoughts, but Mike, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I
How
think
about it?
so the Amazon affiliate program is nothing new, right? It's been out there for some time where you can get your associates link and recommend products and make a commission off of it. It's funny when you were saying earlier, Eric Robert, on like what the football predictions were. I was like, well, we've been watching predictions for a while here this week with the TikTok ban, right? So what's Polymarket at today? I see Polymarket's at a 76% chance of TikTok ban going through, and we should hear more this week, right? But TikTok ban or not, like social selling is here. It's here to stay, right? Now, social influencing has been around for a while, right? People on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, recommending their products and getting some referral commission. The difference is really that's been a lot of like social media platforms to commerce platforms, right? I'm on Facebook and I'm getting paid a retainer or a commission by a brand. I'm sponsored and I drive that traffic to their Shopify store, for instance, right? That's been around for a long, long time. Or I'm driving it to Amazon, and Amazon, I have an associates link, so I get a commission. I think the real like popularity of TikTok Shop is that it's like it began as a social platform, and then they built the commerce right into it, right? And so now I think that you're seeing a lot of old news, right? There's Instagram and Facebook influencing, and there's Amazon influencing, but they're trying to figure out how do we build the social selling within. So I think any agency, any brand is looking at social selling. They've been looking at influencer space for a long time. Now it's just, okay, we have an influencer. What's the most lucrative or what's the most efficient way to take user-generated content and put it everywhere, right? If I'm an influencer and I'm, doing an unboxing of a product that I have a relationship with that brand, like put it up on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok Shop, on Amazon, etc., on YouTube, right? And then what's the most financially lucrative way to route that influenced buyer to the commerce platform that's going to make, the best margin and best commission? So I think that's really the gamification that's taking place right now. Is we've got social media like loyalty. Some people are on Instagram, some people are on TikTok Shop. So how do we get it everywhere? And then how do we route interested buyers to the most profitable sale? And if you're the affiliate, it's the most commissionable sale.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, you covered a lot there, which is, all true, right? Like kind of old news in a sense, right? Like Amazon has been on the forefront of these things for a long time. Like that affiliate program's been there for a long time. They've had live selling for a long time. You've been able to post videos on your reviews for a long time. Like when you kind of add those capabilities up from a platform perspective, it's all sort of right there already, right? And then when you add sort of a catalog of potential influencers / creators to choose from, I mean, it's all a walled garden, right? If you're familiar with that term, right? Like it's all kind of walled off, but it doesn't have to be. Like if we're helping a client produce content on TikTok and we do it in a way where it's applicable to or usable on other platforms, like let's do that, right? Let's be as efficient as we possibly can. But Amazon wants to kind of control that experience, and that's fine. But I think why we haven't heard of it, or meaning why don't we talk about it more, I think is indicative of like where people expect this to happen, right? Like people don't necessarily expect to do social commerce on Amazon, but Amazon now is making it easier for sellers or vendors to do. And so it's going to just continue to propagate, become, more available or common. And so that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. It's just brands need to be making that adjustment. Like they shouldn't be waiting for Amazon to make it so easy or so prevalent that then you start. Like you should be doing it on these other platforms. And then when Amazon really is kind of like, whenever that tipping point happens where people are expecting this on Amazon before they purchase something, you're ready for it. And I think that's just kind of what's happening is people just aren't expecting it on Amazon. So they don't purchase that way. Right. But they do read reviews. And so it's really interesting. Like I'm a good example, like when I find something I'm looking for and I see, say, 1,000 or 10,000 4.5 star, 4-star reviews, which is kind of my cutoff, I do look at those and I look at the negative reviews. And it's just like what someone wrote, right? But if I can see a video of that negative review where someone's actually showing me like, hey, here's what happened, right? That's more powerful to me and helps me make my decisions faster or easier.
Yeah, for sure. I think the reviews for me, well, not the reviews, the UGC, I thought they were reviews. So it's kind of a little disingenuous because when I go and review products, like just moved into a new place, I need some of these easy hooks to install curtains. And I'm wondering like how to do this. Is this the right one? I'm thinking these people are giving feedback because they're not getting paid by Amazon. It's like this, I bought this and this is how it works for me. But Amazon is a bit boring with the influencer stuff because it's not a social media site. And so there's no engagement beyond getting the product and listing a review and the stars. And they have all these constraints for these influencers like FTC commissioned and all these. And I'm wondering, well, it doesn't really matter, but it seems like TikTok affiliates get to bypass that. You're not seeing I earn commissions on every single sale because it's so obvious. But when it comes to these major retailers and influencers, like I set up my TikTok initially so that you had the link in the bio and we know people like this that have made tons of money off of it. And you go to the link and it's nothing but Amazon products because it's my Amazon store. So they're using my affiliate links and then I would earn commission on that. But I didn't reap the benefit of TikTok's shop success because that's driving conversions off the app, which probably going to lose some sales.
Well, back in the day, like you could pay for reviews. It was this whole freaking thing. And then they really put the hammer down on that. Like businesses disappeared that kind of helped facilitate that. But it's still a major issue, right? Where it's just generally disingenuous, like you said. But, Amazon's so transactional now, right? Like you said, it's not, it's not a social platform, but I think it has every intention to become one, right? Like it's going to be really interesting if TikTok has to sell, like who ends up buying that thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon ends up, I don't know how it gets past, antitrust stuff, but I wouldn't be surprised if they bought it. They need it.
I like the shady business of like selling reviews. It's like what you need, what you want, you want me to throw a 2-star in there, make it look a little real type thing. Like
it's bonkers. Even to the, like they even have it down to like when you post the review, right? Like you can't just all of a sudden have like 10 people post today. That will get flagged, right? There's a lot of different.
This is like when you're sneaking back into the house and you're like, okay, well, you come in 5 minutes after me. And then I'll go in through the back door. And that way they'll think that we were outside playing football. But actually, it's like it's coordinated, elaborate method. Not that I only
got caught once sneaking out. It was pretty bad. But I was like I was like 500 for 501 or 499 for 500 sneaking out.
I got pretty good at it.
Pops would wait up for us, and he'd have his light on next to his bed, and we had to shut it off. So we at least had to come into his room to like signal that we were here, and that gave him a chance if he dozed off, he'd wake up. It was tiptoeing into Dad's room.
My mom, it was like, you just better not get caught. And I'd be at parties like 1 a.m. and she's calling. She's like, you need to come home. I'm like, I can't do that, right? No. You better be in that bed when I wake up in the morning. And that was it. Like, you figured it out.
The one time I got caught crawling back through the window. Like, that was pretty bad.
Which window? A normal window or like a basement window?
No, a normal window. Like, yeah, not good.
All right. Well, back to online selling, social commerce. I came across something and I felt very validated because I mentioned this on, I believe it was episode 3. We were announcing our TikTok shop partnership, and you had asked me about being an affiliate marketer and an influencer and selling things. So I want to share this because he pretty much reiterated what I already said. So I think that he's actually watching our videos and, learning.
All right. This is like when you get into class and it's movie day.
It is.
Don't sell that you don't like or that you don't believe in. I'm proud as fuck of what I sell. everything. Some of you selling like bull and gummies and protein like. Be proud of what you sell, and you'll never be upset about selling. And don't think of it as winner takes all. You're in control. To your point, if you're not in the spirit of like,
I'm in the spirit.
well then.
So
Gary V.
yeah.
To my point, I mean, there's the Amazon influencers. I mean, they haven't created this product. They're just marketing it. And then we have these people making thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on social commerce a week, just selling anything that's a top selling device. I guess as a business owner, having worked with brands, I mean, how much belief do you need from an affiliate marketer, like in your product? Do you even require that? Or, I mean, is it a matter of really vetting, or is it just casting a wide net and like, let's just get it out there and not, hold this up?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe shouldn't say this, or I'll say it. There's like nice to have, and then there's must have, right? And so it's kind of like, I think it's nice to have someone or a brand that you are super passionate about when it comes to representing them in any different way. Then I think there's like must have, right? Like the must haves are, sort of as authentic as you can appear, good content, good information, good customer experience comes from it. And, I think the brand is the dictator of that, right? The brand, most companies have like, these are our values, right? And those values need to be represented by person or persons or tactics that are deployed to engage customers and produce a transaction or a business relationship. So I think it starts with the brands. I think, they have to make sure that their values are being represented. And if they're not, then something's wrong and people will pick up on it, so I think it starts with that. But yeah, I mean, my opinion is that it's more of a nice to have. Because look, like if it were possible all the time and it was happening more than it is not, then we wouldn't have to pay people. They would just do it anyways because they want to spread the word on how this thing changed their life, but that's not how the world works. So
Yeah, I agree with you, Brad. I think it's probably very similar for an affiliate, right? An influencer in the products that they represent. It's similar, I think, to an agency like us in the clients that we represent, right? There's a client that we can take on because we know how to help them. We have strategies and we can improve their e-commerce success, right? But we may not have like a strong affiliation to the product. It might be a widget, right? Like, but we can help them manage that widget further. Same thing for an influencer. They can probably drive sales for something that they're not totally bought in on because they have a following, they've got a formula, it's working. But you have to have mixed in also those that you're passionate about, because that's what gets you up in the morning, right? And that's what has longevity, right? If you can promote product A, which you're passionate about, you're going to do it. And you're going to do it tomorrow and the next month and next year, right? Because you're intrinsically revved up about it, right? Now you could use some of that same platform and strategy to do something less so, and you'll get some sales, but like ultimately it will probably fizzle. Or if that's all that you had, then you're going to burn out because you're not so passionate to get up in front of and create content about something that you're just. So I think that like there's a healthy mix. Like we can, it's unrealistic that every single client that we service is going to be like something that fits our lifestyle and we're into it and it's our thing. But having some that you are is what really I think keeps authentic, keeps the drive going. And
Can I amend my answer? And here's where it's coming from, right? I was thinking about all the brands I've worked with in the past, brands we're working with now. Like, I have sold more makeup and cosmetics than I care to admit, and I don't use any of them, right? There were some brands that I did love, like Dr. Bronner's. I love Dr. Bronner's, right? It's like one of my favorite products.
Peppermint soap.
Oh, it's the best.
Good
And
stuff.
I was, I guess, passionate about that, right? Because I liked it so much and I got it for free all the time. But, I was just thinking about like, I think it's category based, right? Like some of those beauty brands, like the founders were so passionate, right? Like Way Hair Care and Drunk Elephant, like Suavecito, those founders were so passionate. And we didn't have to do a lot of social commerce back then, but like we did do some like selling and things like that. And so it kind of came through at a founder level. But I think that category is, there's a lot of creators and influencers that you can find that are passionate about those products, even though we're paying them, right? Like Drunk Elephant, people love Drunk Elephant, right? Other categories, maybe not so much, right? And so I think maybe it's category dependent where, it is maybe a must have, right? To have those types of people represent you that are as passionate as the founders or you are. Whereas other categories, maybe not so much. Like how passionate can you be about, I don't know, a toaster, right? Even though we have a brand that we're talking to that is very passionate about toasters.
Look, it's all about the bread.
It's the first gift I gave my wife. Toaster oven.
I gave my wife a pizza cutter once and she was like, what the or is she giving me a pizza cutter for?
When we were dating, I think she had just the old school toaster. I'm like, that thing can do one thing. Have you ever seen a toaster oven? You can do all kinds of stuff. What if you want to put cheese on your toast and toast it? You can't do that with your upright toaster. Come on, girl. So I got her.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
Yeah, but it's true. Like if current commerce sat back and we waited for clients like for Brad that fit, fishing or mountain biking or soccer, like Brad's things, or if we sat back and waited for brands that fit like cooking and outdoors and camping like me, like we'd be missing a lot of brands that we can service well. And sometimes it doesn't have to be our passion that we love and eat up their products, but like passion rubs off, like Brad's analogy to the beauty products, right? They're so engaged that rubs off. I think the same thing goes with influencers, right? Like if you find those products that you don't have to convince yourself on their benefit because you love it, you use it, like that's going to come off not only authentic, but for a long time, right? There's going to be real longevity there. It's going to be natural, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a place for repping stuff that you can see the values for, your audience, right? Maybe it's not your thing in particular, but you're serving your audience by promoting a product that you believe in, right?
I mean, I'm passionate about like just business, right? And I'm not in some like I'm some New York business dude, whatever, right? But like I'll give you an example. Lime Crime was one of our brands back in the day, and I was super passionate about Lime Crime because it was very small. This is lipstick, very small, very expensive, great margins and low returns. And I was like, I am passionate about this category, right? And look, at the end of the day, like people are doing this stuff to make money. In general, they're not doing it to make the world a better place, unfortunately. But if you can do that too, that's a win-win-win, right? That's massive. But yeah, good thought discussion there for sure. Making me think about stuff. We lost our host. I'm assuming we're going to pause. Let's see. While we're paused, we can sing a song. Nothing like a last minute. Are you going to your kid's school today to read to the kids?
Hey.
Should I say yes?
Definitely say yes. Sorry about that. We will edit it. I had to pee like a racehorse.
Yeah.
It was a long one. Okay.
That's what she said.
Awesome.
Diving back in, I wanted to offer some feedback, some follow-up. I get it. Like for me, shameless plug. I'm marketing my new book. I'm so passionate about it. Of course I believe in it. I wrote it. It's one of my babies. Okay. But does that mean I feel like waking up and creating content for it every day? And it takes 1 minute to do that. Like that's it. Like you just do it. But it's not about the feeling. And it's like working out. Like I just need to get it done. Or, someone like me being a part of, the most beautiful people in the world club. I don't always feel like being there, but I show up. So we do that, on behalf of the team, the clients. So yeah, I get it. I think it's just business at the end of the day. But as long as it's not like, they're not throwing puppies in a river or something like that. It's like what you got, what you selling. So
I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, I think we're all salesmen, saleswomen at the end of the day, no matter what we're doing. Like, we're always selling, right? And it's amazing how good Americans are at selling. Like, it looks like most people are very, very passionate about what they're repping, you know? So, fake it till you make it, I guess. But yeah, I'm impressed with the sales savviness of most social commerce people that I see.
Or I think it's that old adage, right? Live to work versus work to live, right? And I don't think that that's binary, right? Like, hey, the advice you pass on your children, find something that you can live to work rather than working to live. Like, I don't think it's binary. I think it's like a spectrum, right? So the more businesses, products, et cetera, that you're around that you gravitate towards, the more your work life just feels like life, right? It feels natural. But sometimes you got to grind. You got to find ways to produce. And then once you get good at it, I think you can be more selective, right? Like, you can be more selective. You can surround yourselves. You have first pick, right? When you really hone your craft, the best influencers can pick the products. They have the pick of the litter for what they represent, right? The best agencies can be selective and say, we could help that brand, but like, it's just going to be deploying, the playbook, and it's not going to be that exciting work. I want to be with that brand because I'm all about it. And I think that it's just a moving needle on the spectrum, right? If you can drop in some that you're really passionate about, then your average rises, right? And work becomes more enjoyable because you have moments to touch those that you get excited about.
yeah, for sure. I was stoked to start seeing Dr. Squatch. You guys know them?
Yeah.
They're really, they've really kicked off their affiliate marketing stuff with the bundles. I'm like, nice.
I've tried calling them a million times. They're
Well, I got somebody's number for you, so
cool.
all
I'm
right.
in.
Let's check this out.
$30% in fees whenever I sell stuff on the platform. But guess what? I don't care because they do all the work for me. I get to travel and work from anywhere around the world. So I'm happy giving Amazon 30% of my margin to not have to deal with any of it. Would you rather make an extra couple bucks or be free to go anywhere and do anything? I do what's called FBA wholesale. I resell big brand products on the platform. I find big distributors and wholesalers from trade shows, and I buy products like this in bulk. It's a little tough for new sellers to get in, but that's why I created the mom and pop arbitrage method. This is when you can partner with mom and pop shops and piggyback off their suppliers that they already have. It's the fastest way to get into the space. And then you can also build a business and be free and not have to deal with the shipping or logistics. If you're interested, go book a time with me and my team.
No, the arbitrage reseller.
Oh man, I don't.
That
What's the
guy's made it.
question?
Yeah.
He's made it with some footage of First Class that we can't see him in.
Yeah.
First off, I invented that, dude. You're welcome.
Explain.
What's the question?
Qualify that statement, Brad.
Dude. I mean, look, Quiver is over 10 years, right? It's over. I mean, that model didn't really start happening until about 15 years ago. And even then it wasn't necessarily a strategy. It was because you could do it, right? People really weren't onto that, right? Amazon wasn't onto that. Brands weren't onto that. And so now, fast forward, what that person is talking about is still a viable business, but it is so crowded and it is so difficult. You're like trying to find a needle in a haystack of needles, right? Where you have a product that you get a good price on and can sell it on Amazon at a decent margin. considering their fees, and also doesn't have a bunch of sellers, et cetera,
They're
et cetera,
doing likewise.
right? Like, and oh, by the way, the distributors are now all doing it, right? Or, the brands have made it impossible for the distributors to do, and Amazon's making it difficult to do because of brand gating and brand registry and vendor and yada yada. So like, do not pay anybody to teach you how to do that, first off. Second, if you're considering doing it, I'll talk you out of doing it unless you've got such a good supply on something that you're one of the only people who can actually sell that product. So I question the lifestyle that person is living. I can go buy a first class ticket and take videos of that today. I can go take photos of where I live in San Diego and make it look like that's me in my life. But if you're a mom and pop and your suppliers aren't going to care if you sell the stuff you're buying from them online and there's margin there for you to do it, cool. Go do it. It's not that hard. But don't build a whole life around it, because tomorrow someone else can pop on your listing or a listing that you're on, and it's a race to the bottom. So it is not a very consistent, scalable, reliable business model at all. Quiver differentiated itself by going strategic with brands, right? Not necessarily exclusive, but we ran the channel. And yeah, sellers would pop up all the time. We would deal with that. We'd work with the brands to kind of reduce that diversion or enforce MAP. That's why we were successful. But yeah, the days of buying from distributors or wholesalers and trying to make a reliable profit are very limited, very numbered.
Yeah, think about it. Every time a product changes hands, margin just erodes, right? So that guy's example, he goes to a trade show and finds a mom and pop shop. So mom and pop shop gets their vendor list to maybe get to a manufacturer, and then he's going to resell it on Amazon at a competitive price where he gets the buy box. Like, the margin goes slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. And Amazon's doing a huge push, that have been for a while, and I'm trying to be direct with brands, right? You're trying to be direct with manufacturers. Like, let's get the product in the hands of customers through Amazon, but with a direct brand relationship, right? So really that resale model is, you're inserting your know-how and your expertise in running that channel to basically represent the brand as if it was the brand themselves, right? That's kind of the Quiver model, right? Like they took the Amazon channel for the brand because they were experts at running it. It was still really direct access to a brand, not a handoff to a handoff to a handoff, and then I've eked out some margin. Like, that
We didn't buy
works.
anything from distributors. We bought all direct from the brand.
That worked out like many days ago, right? Years ago, because not every brand was represented on Amazon, right? They'd be selling to grocery stores or whatever, and you go get a big, you go buy it at wholesale and put it up on Amazon, and you were a winner. But now the brands are there, now the manufacturers are there, now Amazon themselves directly is there. So
If that model works so well, that guy wouldn't be selling basically how to do it. He would just be doing it, and he'd be making so much money that he didn't need to deal with training you on how to do it. And, look, if you don't need that person or service. Go to Costco, right? And get a wholesale price list. Get a Costco Amex card where you get like a 5% rebate on all purchases. Then go to Amazon, look up those products, see how many sellers there are, what the average buy box price is, and do a test. You could probably make $1,000 a month doing that. Maybe 2, maybe 5 if you're lucky, right? If that's what you're looking for, a little side income, put the time in and do it. You'll find something, but you probably will not find something that is going to sit there forever, right? Like, you're going to have to make changes all the time. Like, today you're selling, I don't know, a bottle of nutraceuticals, and tomorrow you're selling dog shampoo. I don't know, right? CPG is definitely the most difficult space to get yield. You're going to have to go a level higher, beauty, maybe hard goods. You better be ready for returns, right? Like, so you got to really put your time and research into it, but it is not for the faint of heart.
If I were a brand, our favorite game to play here, it sounds like I need to consider the reselling factor? Do I need to consider that in where my bulk parcels are being stored and if they're being made available to resellers that are going to connect to mom and pop? Or that might depend on the product, if it's like luxury apparel versus a nutraceutical or something consumable. But what do you think? I mean, how much should I factor that in when I'm product developing?
Oh yeah, it's all supply chain control, channel management, right? You as a brand intend to sell to this customer so that they can manage this channel, right? I sell to this distributor because they have a whole bunch of convenience stores. I'm just making something up, right? Like this distributor makes sense because they go and touch all these convenience stores and that's their lane. But I have my own Shopify account, sell to my own direct consumer, and then I have my own Amazon account, and we have a direct relationship with Amazon, right? But who's to say that that distributor who's supposed to be servicing all these convenience stores doesn't have a greedy employee in there who's taking or who's buying product at cost and then putting it up on Amazon, and now you've got diversion, right? You intended to go to this channel for this reason, but now it's popping up on Amazon, and now you're competing with your own direct relationship by some rogue players over here. Happens all the time, right? And that's something that if you turn a blind eye to it, or maybe, hey, we have so much volume that like, who cares? You don't even notice it. That happens all the times. But there's really easy scans that we run to show how much we call brand protection, how much brand protection is or isn't impacting your business, right? When you add them all up, right? Pallet from this other channel went up and it sold out. So maybe it's there for a time and then gone. And then this other, pallet, and like, anyways, when you take the sum of all the parts, sometimes it can be substantial, right? You're like selling it at wholesale over here at that price for them to put it up and make the sale versus you selling it here. So they're cannibalizing your own business. So it is something to be aware of. And it's a challenging thing because you want these channels open, but you want everybody to follow the rules. You have this channel open for this provision of selling and not that. But it's playing whack-a-mole all the time. You're like going and enforcing all these resellers to stay in their lane, and also knowing that they're a customer. Like they are a relationship to serve in some capacity, but not in another.
I mean, I was a reseller in high school, and Brad, I don't know if this was there when you were there, but at the end of Waterway Drive, there was a shopping center, and when I was there, there's a Dollar Tree, and this Dollar Tree had the best stock of movie theater grade candy boxes, candy
Nice.
bars,
Nice.
all the snacks. So I'd go in there, drop like $20, and then I'm in class because now my peers, my co-counselors, my colleagues, they don't need to get excused to go to the restroom and then sneak over to the vending machines. No, I got you. But you're gonna pay about 50 cents more for this candy, which is about, an ounce more than what you're gonna get out the vending machine, to get this in class convenient. So I got discoverability, convenience. I was on to something. But then the guy at Dollar Tree was on to me, and he's like, you know what, I think you're doing something with this candy, and it got too hot, as we say. So I
Why does he
let
care?
it go. I know.
Ridiculous. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, look, that's the American way, right? It's capitalism 101, right? I have something you want. I can make money selling it to you because I get it for cheaper, right? I mean, that's, like I said, I mean, there's opportunities out there. I mean, I think the bigger opportunities, just in the vein of reselling, call it diversion, is bringing foreign brands over here or taking U.S. brands overseas. It's, I think, a bigger opportunity in the sort of arbitrage model. Private label's super difficult these days, but you can still do it. But it takes innovation, it takes value differentiation. It takes maybe your first to market, second to market. But there's still opportunities out there. I think about them all the time, but I'm very, very, very disciplined on, am I going to put my money down on inventory of any kind of product and risk not being able to move that inventory or move it at a profit, right? That is one tactic that you could consider, just to round this out, which is, if I take this risk and it doesn't go the way I'm hoping, can I sell through it and get my cash back? right? And move on to the next one. But yeah, be wary of what that video was talking about. So,
Okay. All right. I have some more tricks up my sleeve with these TikTok bits, but I wanna ask for some shameless plugs to circle this all back to why we're here, current commerce. So now that I've dropped that, can one of you give me a shameless plug for the big audit, the free big audit? Doesn't not necessarily an elevator pitch, but I mean, just really, I mean, you can sling some mud if you want to, but what's up? What's going on with this?
it's Mike's baby, so I'm going to let Mike go first, and then I'll give you my version.
Well, I mean, the thing that we often say is like a brand is their day to day, their 9 to 5, their 40 hours a week, whatever, is to sell dog food, shampoo, golf clubs, right? And to create new products. And that's where they live and breathe. But as an e-commerce agency, we're in the e-commerce space, rubbing elbows with e-commerce solution providers all the time, right? And so we have found success for ourselves and for our brands on, hey, let's just scan your Amazon account and what, right? Well, one solution provider, you scan your Amazon account, you find free money out thin air, reimbursements that Amazon owes you back. You scan another solution provider and you find out, hey, the advertising spend that I spent in the last year, like 20% of it was waste and could be reallocated to something else. You scan another solution provider's account and you find out, like we were talking before, hey, here's all these rogue players that are stealing my buy box win. You scan another solution provider's account and you find out, hey, I could be more efficiently planning my supply chain to get the full demand of Amazon, but not less. Like there's if you went to each one of these solution providers, you'd get like a solution at a time and you'd have to do an audit at a time, right? But it's all kind of accessing the same source, right? Your Amazon account. So we're just really bringing together like many solutions and we've kind of pre-vetted them. Hey, this one's better than that one for reimbursements. Like, so don't let this one fool you. Go here. This one's better than that one for your advertising tool because the audit's only as good as the solution that it's going to provide. So it's more or less like, hey, you go to a mortgage broker, you go to an insurance broker. You say, I need insurance. Like they go out and they look at State Farm and Allstate and Farmers and Progressive, and they come back and say, hey, we've scoured the earth with your personal details, and here's the menu of what you can do with it. It's similar to that, right, Eric, Robert? It's rather than having to go one at a time across all these solutions, like we know best of breed because we've worked with them, and we can just in one-stop shop pull your specific details and come back with, here's how you can be better financially. Here's how you can be better from a growth perspective. Here's how you can be better from an ops and overhead perspective. And we just try to make that a simple process.
Here's the deal. It's free. You're kidding yourself. If you're a brand, you are kidding yourself if you think you've got everything figured out, right? I don't think a lot of brands are doing that, but I do think a lot of brands put their head in the sand and kind of don't want to know, which is really strange, right? Because like e-commerce is most likely your best growth channel and prospect for growth, right? And so if you are not constantly, and I mean constantly, auditing what is going on, whether it's Amazon, Walmart, your website, your advertising campaigns, your shipping and parcel rates, your seller enforcement or brand protection situation, your content compared to others, brand indexing, like all these tools are right there at your disposal and they don't cost anything. And we're sitting here bringing it all together into like one, not one pane of glass, but one sort of management process. And we're going to give you all the data for free. We're not going to make you sign anything. And we're going to tell you what we would do about the issues that are revealed. And you can then go implement those yourselves, or you can work with us, right? In a highly incentivized model. So just do it. What's wrong with you people? Do it. Like, it's not that hard. Like, all you got to do is send an invite for the Amazon stuff. It's simple. It's just read access. There's no data breach and blah, 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 right? So I don't know. I'm over trying to convince people that this is a good thing for them. You're just wasting money, people. You're wasting money. So get in there, do the audits, get comfortable with the vendor or an agency like us, and have it on autopilot, checking things all the time, and make it part of your routine. Like once a month or once a quarter, we're going to go through this data, just like you would go through a P&L every month. If you're not going through a P&L every month as a business owner, then I don't know what to tell you. It's very similar. And don't just take what your agency or internal team is saying is going on. Like, what did Reagan say? Trust but verify. Trust but verify. It's very simple.
Just say no.
Yeah, that too.
That went well.
I like the passion on this episode. It was a bit unexpected. Got Brad all jazzed up, and
I mean, I want it for my life. You know?
Yeah.
Like, do it on my, like, insurance is a great example. Like, come on, man, come in here, audit all of it, you know? Audit my mortgage and my equity line, audit my credit cards, like, audit it all, and fix it. Tell me where I can save a penny or two.
I think we just created the next AI.
Well,
and it's gonna be like for me, I don't know, like your ego is overextended, so tone it down and focus more on your daily objectives.
That's doable, right? All you need is some listening bot on your phone and just listens to you all day, and at the end of the day it tells you, hey man, you were on the a-hole index, you were like an 8 today.
Yeah, I mean, we carry our phones around. We have all these devices that are literally recording us the whole time. Like, we could literally make an algorithm that analyzes every interaction, every location we went to, what we ate, how we slept, and give us feedback. I
like this idea. I like this idea.
mean, we're going to cut that part of that.
Robert.
Yeah.
I like it.
We're not putting that out there, and save that for us. Okay. Well, good chatting with you guys. More to come very soon. But thanks everyone for tuning in to Current Commerce, the podcast.
Yep.
Next time, Mike, wear a hat. Let's see it, baby.
I know. I got to get a good one. Current Commerce one. Thanks, boys.
Peace out.
See you.